Good morning, guys. Hi, how you doing? Okay, so you're joining me now today. I'm going to do a big rundown of Tuff Spots and talk about Tuff Spots. These things. You see, I get, you probably see them quite a lot on posts and things with activities, the big black tray. Lots of people asking what they are. So I'm going to go run through this. However, just to say that there is a blog post all about this. So if you'd rather read it than watch it, it might be a good one to go over onto the Play Hooray website. Under the blog section, it's there for you. So I'm going to be going through the Tuff Spots, a bit of a rundown, alternatives, how to store them, all that sort of thing. The dogs come to get involved as well. Okay. So let's talk about it. First of all, of course, I'm going to plug that I have got the mini pack of playPROMPTS for the Tuff Spot, because I know lots of people buy them and then they get to the point where they think, right, what do I do with it now? What should I put in it? So I created these packs with 25 ideas of things, of quick and easy activities you can set up in your Tuff Spot using bits and pieces around the house. They're also great for anyone that doesn't have a Tuff Spot but has some sort of play tray, and I'm going to be showing you some alternatives in a minute. Move the dog along. Okay, so I'm going to try and talk. I'm going to talk quite quickly because I've got quite a lot to cover. All right. So this is known as a Tuff Spot, a Tuff Tray, and Tuff as in Tuff. Tuff Spot, Tuff Tray, Play Tray, anything like that. Also known as a builder's cement mixing tray. Okay, so they were originally created for builders mixing the cement and not making a mess. So that's why you can find them in many DIY shops. B&Q, you can get them there, like Tool Fix, all those sorts of ones. You can Google them. So look for a Tuff Spot and also look for a builder cement mixing tray, because I know people are looking for them. Now, these have been used for many years. For anyone working with children will know these. However, they're becoming more popular now as influencers, and people are using them on Instagram and things, and people are wanting to start using them at home as well. The reason why they're becoming so popular is just because they're so versatile and they're really great to use. And I'll be going through that with you. So this is my Tuff Spot that I have. As you can see, it is pretty rough and ready. You know, these are not really made to be used with children. So they are thick black plastic, that deep. Not very deep, a few centimetres deep, about a metre square, and they are big and they are quite tricky, and I know sometimes it's tricky for people finding storage for them, so I'm going to show you some other alternatives. The plastic it's not rough, it's nice and smooth, but it's really hard wearing, it's very durable. Once you've bought one, you can keep it for life. I store mine outside, that's why it's always dirty, and give it a rub down. Some people store them inside the house, maybe under the sofa, behind the sofa, that sort of thing. But yeah, I've always kept mine outdoors. It is very well used, as you can see. Definitely got our money's worth out of it, and I use them for all sorts of things. So before I start talking to you about where to buy them, I'm going to show you the stand as well. This is the stand that you can get for the Tuff Spots. It does change in its height as well. It's really tricky. Now then, to buy the stand alone is pretty expensive. We're talking 50, 60 plus for the stand alone. If you are buying the tray and thinking, possibly one day I would want the stand, I highly recommend you buy them both together. Really great to add on to a Christmas list. You've got family buying. We're getting lots of messages in the community group at the minute saying about family wanting to buy some outdoor equipment for your little ones. And I just think this is a brilliant thing to ask for. I think they're fantastic because you can use them for all sorts of stuff. And I use ours majority of the time outdoors, but can use indoors as well. I'd use it on like a kitchen, a tile floor or something, because they're normally good for the messy play. So if you are going to make an investment and a purchase of a Tuff Spot, personally, I would buy it with the stand at the same time, because otherwise a couple of years down the line you're going to want the stand and you're going to end up paying a lot for it alone on its own. You can these days buy covers and all sorts of stuff like that for these, and lots of accessories. I've never bought them, I've never needed them. If I leave an activity out, I chuck a plastic sheet over or a tablecloth over or something like that. So I've never bought the covers. You can buy things that make little dens out of them. They're all great. You can buy backdrops and all sorts of stuff. All the accessories, again, not that cheap, the backgrounds. I've never needed them, I've never used them, but of course it's completely up to you. So as you can see, the Tuff Spot sits on top here. Now, I do have a video. I'm not going to do it now because it's fiddly. I do have a video. If you go on that Tuff Spot blog post, about how to collapse the stand and store it. Can you actually store it really easily and not take up as much room as that? You can actually flatten the stand. So there is a video over on the blog post if you want to see how to flatten the stand if you're umming and ahhing whether to get one. Okay, so they're the basics. So if you are going to buy just the tray, I would look at some sort of hard, like a DIY shop, something like that. B&Q's, you're looking at about £18. Tool Fix can be about £10. It just depends. Remember, it's known as a builder cement mixing tray. So Google that rather than Tuff Spot. Okay, you can also get them on Amazon. This is where I get mine. I do have a link, the ones that I buy on Amazon. And I buy mine with the stand. Like I said, if you're going to buy the stand separate, you could end up paying a lot of money. If you don't want the stand, you can still raise them, because I love using Tuff Spots in different ways. You know, you can have them on the floor, have your child sitting in them, particularly when they're babies, sitting in them, lying in them, sitting at them. Then you can bring it up a little bit and they can kneel at it. Then you can have it like this so they can stand at it, or they can pull a chair up and sit at it. I really love them for the versatility of the different heights a child is able to use. And also, don't forget, you can stand your tray up, lean it up against the wall, and you've got a vertical surface as well, which is really great. So I'm a big fan of getting children to use their bodies and work in different heights and in different ways. And of course, don't forget, you've got a little den under there, and they can also lie on their backs and work on the surface underneath as well. So we're going to get lots of use out of them. So I really do think it's a great investment for anyone wanting to buy something or resources, something that they're going to get lots of use out. If you don't understand, I have done it before. I've lifted it up on piles of books, piles of bricks. We've got these like garden furniture things. These like garden furniture puff things, you know, that you get with your set. Or like the little IKEA tables, sometimes fit them quite nicely. If you've got not the Flissat, the other one, the more basic rectangular one, normally fits it quite well as well, but you can't actually attach it on, and it can slide. So it's up to you to have a little think about how you're going to use it. I'm going to sit down because I'm pregnant, bending over. It's hard work. Okay, so that's where you're going to get them from if you're looking and wanting to invest in them. Now then, I wanted to show you some alternatives, actually. Standing up again. This is another alternative that I use. So as you can see, it's slightly smaller than the Tuff Spot. Great for more indoor play. It's actually deeper. This is about 60 centimetres square. This is actually known as the Garland gardening tray. You're looking at something like £10 to £12 for those. Again, you can get them on Amazon. I haven't seen a stand for those. I stand corrected if there are them out there. These are growing in popularity as well, because it's quite a commitment getting something this big. For anyone getting out of breath, I'm talking so fast and doing so much. They are really handy to have, messy play, all that sort of stuff, and easy to use indoors as well. Maybe put it on a tabletop, put it on the floor, that sort of thing as well. If you were using it for sand and water, I would have then a plastic sheet as well underneath, because it's not going to catch it all quite as well as this one. Or my other favourite, you've seen me mention these many a times, under the bed storage box. B&M Home Bargains, £3.99, £2.99 with a lid. Really fantastic, really deep, great for sand and water as well. So I've talked about the trays being really versatile. Excuse me being out of breath. Talking at 100 miles an hour and trying to squeeze everything in. I think this is going to go over another video, isn't it? Okay, so there's loads of different uses you can get out of these, and I'm about to run out of time. So I think I'm going to have to record video part 2. So do join me, where I'm going to talk about all the different uses, things that you can do with them. I'm going to talk about the safety of them. I'm going to talk about the storage of them. I'm also going to talk about why I buy black trays when they can come in lots of different colours. All right, so I hope so far that's been helpful. Keep an eye out for part 2.